You've got the two quarterbacks, as you mentioned, on the roster already, and obviously the 12 and 22 pick. Coming into the month of April, what's your feeling about the quarterback position?
I feel good about it. I really do. We've got open competition at the position, and we've got two good players, two good young players, and Nate Peterman and A.J. McCarron. So guys that have won over the course of their careers at different levels, and we're excited about both of them.
All right, moving on from the quarterback position, because I feel like in here you've probably answered strictly a couple. Yeah, that's it. Other positions on the field, what's an area that you want to improve and address throughout the offseason?
Well, there's a lot of areas. You know, there's a lot of talk about our middle linebacker position, and that's a situation that we're going to continue to evaluate moving forward. Brandon, being and his staff do a phenomenal job of knowing what's out there and identifying opportunities for us to improve our roster.
I know that Brandon had comments and yourself about Tyrod on the way out, and it was, obviously he had great comments as well. Have you had conversations since that day and kind of moved forward and kind of put that one to rest?
Conversations with Brandon or
with Tyrod Taylor?
I have, and I've got the utmost respect for Tyrod, first and foremost for who he is as a person. He's been first class, and he's really been a big help to me in my first season as a head coach. I know he's going to do great things with his career, and that really starts off with this year with the Cleveland Browns.
The fan base is so excited, and we do the show. It's a national show on NFL Network, but it feels like the Bills fans particularly are the most vocal. And now coming off a playoff berth, how exciting is it for you now? You're number 2, and here we're coming off a situation where we had success. What can we build upon?
Well, I believe, and I'm sure I'm biased, but I believe we've got the best fans in the NFL, and I'm just fortunate to be in that city and be around those fans on a day-to-day basis. The excitement that we had in year 1 was off the charts, and you see, I had a chance to see the passionate fans meet us at the airport when we made the playoffs on the way back from Miami there, and so you know that this city and this fan base is invested for the long term, and that means a lot to me and a lot to our players.
Even the mere trade of moving up 10 spots in the draft, that thing was, everyone went nuts with that. You could tell that the energy of the fan base is enthused. Obviously, as we head towards the draft now, what would be your message to the fan base in Buffalo?
Well, we're going to do the right thing. It's a great opportunity for us to improve our football team, whatever direction we go, whether we stay put or move up, move down. It's an exciting time to be around Buffalo. It's an exciting time to be a supporter of the Buffalo Bills, and we look forward to the work that we've got to put in at this point to get to where we're trying to get to. We're not where we need to be, but with the hard work and with our fan base, I'm confident we'll get to where we're trying to get to.
Our last one here, Kyle Williams. What's he mean to this team, and what's he mean to that franchise?
Well, he really personifies what Buffalo is all about. I think the play that to me stands out in my mind was his 1 yard, or maybe it was 1 inch
flop,
one half a yard.
The celebration was incredible, though.
You called it a flop?
I didn't say it.
Yeah, you did. No, you did.
It counts.
Yeah, well, it's a touchdown run, and the celebration we'll have to talk about, maybe spend part of the offseason working on, but it's just really personifies what Kyle has brought to this city and this football team.
Awesome, Sean. Appreciate it, man.
Great to see you.
Awesome. Thanks.
Sean McDermott wanting to continue to sort of change the culture, a winning culture up there in Buffalo. They trade up to get 12. You got to think they're going all the way.
Yeah, I think the game within a game here is I like to rate the poker faces. Like, see who's like, Hugh Jackson's was good, but like, really frankly, Hugh's had some practice at the top. He's been there before. McDermott ain't been here before. I like that poker face, and I look at it this way. Are they going to go get a quarterback? Would they possibly ride with A.J. McCarron into this season? I like to look at how a guy got here, all right? Sean McDermott had his greatest success in Carolina. Great defense and Kuechly in the middle, but with an MVP quarterback, a #1 overall pick, Cam Newton, at the quarterback, that's how they got to that Super Bowl. Hard to believe he's not going to go grab somebody, especially in a draft class this rich. Poker face or not, I think they'll make a move.
Cam Newton, tall, athletic, explosive quarterback that can move in the pocket and throw that deep ball. Lamar Jackson.
You like him in Buffalo, Nate?
Just saying. Hashtag just saying.
So then where could they trade up to get that? That means they don't have to get into the top 4. They can trade.
Well, no, yeah, Lamar.
Indy, is he going to maybe last till 12 overall?
Lamar, sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. But listen, Kay, if you want into the top 4, you got to pay the price.
You've got to play either Cleveland or
the Giants.
The Giants.
And that's everything.
Talking to Mara right now about that, which is crazy to get number. I would give more to get number 2. I don't want number 4. Number 4 is too confusing with these quarterbacks. You're getting your last choice.
It's true, but the counter is, okay, so they broke what, a 20-something year streak in the playoffs with decent quarterback play last year. Tyrod, can A.J. McCarron not replicate that? Can he not be a decent quarterback this year? And does a defensive guy not want to load up? Does he not want to move up to get the best linebacker or a Chubb? Maybe they do ride with McCarron. The poker face says it all. He nailed it.
Striggs is back now. He's in Orlando. You've been talking to all of these coaches. Let's talk about Mr. McDermott there. Sean McDermott, in his second year as the head coach up here, what do you think, how is he feeling right now as he's a month away from a draft that he probably wants to move up in?
Yeah, and Kay, it's so interesting because we also have the GM of the Bills, Brandon Beane, coming on tomorrow, and they now have the 12th and 22nd pick. And if you're in the quarterback market, you think, well, that's great in any other year, but these quarterbacks might go 1, 2, 3, 4, as we've all said before, or they might go 1, 2, 3, 5. There's a good chance Baker Mayfield or Josh Allen or the fourth quarterback off the board isn't there at 12. So do you have to trade up again? And then if that's the case, what is the asking price? And is it too much? Because, Kyle, you're right. Tyrod Taylor was a very good quarterback, protected the ball, was fine, and they got to the playoffs with him. They view A.J. McCarron clearly as an upgrade to Tyrod Taylor because they traded Tyrod for a third-round pick, and they went and signed A.J. McCarron. So if that's the case, do you then get real players at linebacker? And that's why I asked him, I'm like, other than quarterback, what else is there? Because at 12 and 22, you can maybe get Tremaine Edmonds or a Roquan Smith or a Denzel Ward. Suddenly you're talking about a talent like a Marshawn Lattimore who fell to 11 last year that you can add to your defense, and you have 2 picks to do so. It is really interesting because everyone wants to talk about the quarterbacks with the Browns, the Jets, the Giants, and even the Broncos, but the Bills, to me, are the most interesting team in this quarterback market because they have the 12 and the 22, and that might not be enough to just sit and wait and get a quarterback that you want, and I don't think they're going to reach. So it could be A.J. McCarron week 1, and there might not be a guy that they draft in the first round because there might not be any there at 12.
Awesome insight from Peter Schrager. They're live in Orlando for the annual league meeting. The coaches' breakfast fallout continues. We've got sound from all 32 coaches, and you mentioned Cam Newton.